Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, and this is another fabulous Certified Hood Classic. Today we're going to be looking ahead to the month of October. That's right, it's crazy. We are already here in October. The year is nearly done. Now, as always with these types of forecasts, a lot of these release dates could be subject to change. There is obviously going to be a little bit of discrepancy between releases in the US and the UK, the EU, and internationally. So for more fixed and firm release dates, be sure to keep up to date with all of the local retailers in your area. Now, ironically enough, some of the best sneakers that are set to drop in October may very well not even drop in October. Last week, you guys over there in the US actually had what could only be described as a genuine shock drop. Shocking in that everybody didn't necessarily know about it 2 or 3 days before it went down. This was a very limited drop from what I've been able to gather. And usually when it comes to the whole shock drop thing, it's meant to sort of whet the appetite, get people excited, give a few people out there a little bit of excitement about being able to come up with this pair early. And so all signs point to this sneaker potentially dropping in October. The next rumor is around the Air Max 95 Ma Maniere. This is another shoe that's part of this whole While You Were Sleeping collection. I mean, it was only a few months ago we thought that we were only going to be getting another Air Jordan 3 and another Air Jordan 4 from Ma Maniere, but now we're getting a whole bunch of sneakers, including these Air Max 95s, which look really cool and have been received really warmly. I think it's pretty safe to say that most people out there are starting to suffer from the whole retro fatigue. They're quite keen to see the likes of Ma Maniere doing something on a different model, and the 95 looks really good. This colorway is dope. Some of the dates surrounding this release have been rumored to be around the 4th and the 5th, but I don't think that's feasible given the fact that there are already a whole bunch of sneakers dropping on the 4th and the 5th, including some pretty big collabs from Nike. So if these are to drop sometime in October, I would bet they'd be coming out a little bit later on in the month. Next up, the rumors around the Black Toe 1 reimagined. We were ready to get these on October the 18th. A lot of people were really looking forward to this release, and last week we covered the story that these have been postponed to as late as maybe even spring next year. Now, there are a few rumors currently circulating with regard to this release, so I'll just go through what I've heard and what I've seen online. Firstly, some boutiques have taken delivery of these already and some haven't. We already know that plenty of early pairs are out there because we've been seeing the early reviews, we've been seeing lots of people with these in hand, we've seen the on-foot shots, all of that type of business. Some rumors have suggested that maybe this release is going to be staggered, wherein some boutiques are allowed to sell them on the previously scheduled release date, the 18th, and other shops will just sell them as they get them in. I've also heard another rumor that these could be set to drop en masse on December the 31st. And obviously the previous rumor that we were all going off was the fact that these had just been postponed collectively until spring next year. So stand by to potentially see these release this month, albeit in a limited, somewhat staggered fashion until further notice. Right, so let's get into some of the bigger sneakers coming out this month, and bear in mind I'm just going to pick out the ones that I like and I feel like most of you guys are going to be somewhat interested in. If you guys are interested in some random pair of Slazengers and you want to get upset because I haven't included them in today's list, just keep those thoughts to you. Actually, you can type them out in the comments. To be fair, the engagement would be welcome. Anyway, let's kick things off with the Adidas Arukus. There are 2 colorways set to go down right now. In fact, if you go onto the confirmed app, you can enter into the draw for these. Staying with the Adidas theme, you've got a whole bunch of Adidas Crazy 8 lows coming out, which are all inspired by different colleges. You've got the Alabama State here, you've got the Alcorn State, Grambling State, you've got a whole bunch of different low top Crazy 8s coming out, and I feel like some of these are really nice. Retail price $120, which is pretty sweet as well. And these are going to be dropping on the adidas.com website. October the 3rd, the KD4 Aunt Pearl returns. Very bright, very vibrant, very out there pink shoe, $130. And the sneaker first dropped in 2012, and it's the first time we've seen this particular shoe retro. Next up, on October the 4th, we have what could be the collab of the month, or maybe even one of the collabs of the year, given the fact that it's a full circle moment for Nigo. We have a couple of sneakers, the Air Force 3 in 2 different multicolored type colorways. And then we also have a whole bunch of apparel. We have a t-shirt and then a crew neck and then a varsity as well. All of these pieces are pretty simple, it has to be said. Now, the Air Force 3 is a sneaker that we don't really see very often. It's not a sneaker that's in the habit of being retroed. So from an original standpoint, so even though these are retros, this is a cool model for him to have chosen. And I think these look really dope. I am into both colorways. They seem to draw a little bit from that whole Bapester type inspiration with the shiny patent leather and these multicolored combos. Sneakers are set to retail for $160, so nothing too crazy. On the same day, you've got the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Tekken, the Jin Kazama release. On October the 5th, you've got a big day for Nikes. You've got the Dunk Low Berlin dropping. The same day, you have the Jason Tatum Air Jordan 1 Low OG, which is going to be releasing alongside a pair of Tatum 3s that will be releasing individually later on in the month via Concepts. This is called the Garden Pack and looks quite lovely. You've also got the Jordan 1 High OG Satin Shadow, as well as the AE1 Pre-Loved Purple. October the 7th, we have another Rain Cloud pack, or another pack from New Balance that is kind of along the same sort of lines we've seen in previous releases with things like the Refined Future pack. We've got the New Balance 1000, and we have a black colorway as well as a white colorway, as well as another sort of light black or a kind of grayish grayscale type colorway as well. So this is set to release on October the 7th, newbalance.com. These are $150 a piece. October the 8th, a couple of cool releases. The Nike Cortez Forest Gumps are releasing. Iconic shoe worn by an iconic character. $110 is the retail for these. And then on the same day, you've got the release of the Dot Swoosh Air Max 1 Low Poly. This is the pair that we saw Kai Cenat unbox on his stream last week. Colorway is obviously inspired by the OG Air Max 1. And these are going to be available for pre-order on the Dot Swoosh platform for $150. So if you're already into the Dot Swoosh program and you've maybe copped some of those artifact dunks, you'll be familiar with the process. I haven't bothered with that platform up until this point, but yeah, these look pretty sweet. They look a little bit different. They're somewhat pixelated. I think even 3D printed or something like that. So yeah, keep an eye out for those if this is a sneaker that floats your boat. October the 11th, you have probably the most limited sneaker of the month and probably one of the most hyped up sneakers of the year, albeit hardly anyone's really going to have a chance to cop these. This is the University of Oregon Nike Dunk Low, the What the Ducks of a Feather release. $250 a piece. You have a home colorway and you have an away colorway. These are going to be releasing on GOAT, and they're going to be releasing in-store at select Flight Club locations. In fact, the Flight Club location in-store release goes down on the 5th, and then on the GOAT app on the 11th. And if you guys remember back to earlier on in the year when we had the Air Max 1s, it'll probably follow a pretty similar release format to that, where you basically just kind of go in the draw, cross your fingers, and if you get selected, you get to buy them. Otherwise, I can see these going for a pretty hefty price in the aftermarket thereafter. October the 12th, the Jordan 1 Low OG Howard University. This is the colorway inspired by the University PE. Really good colorway, really nice looking shoe. They got the mini swoosh on the front. $140 is the retail price. I think these will probably sit, to be honest, even though it is a really nice colorway. Now it is Halloween season, obviously, so there's going to be heaps of different Halloween kicks to look out for. Some of the standout kicks include the Air Force 1 Low, Halloween Skull. You've also got a Nike Dunk Low with the same sort of skull motif on the toe. Spoke to you guys the other day about 2 of the coolest shoes I think are out there for Halloween, which is the Puma Suede XL and the Slime and the Puff and Stuff colorway. I think those are dope, but there's plenty of other cool shoes out there for Halloween as well. The Kobe 5 X-Ray, the colorway takes its inspiration from the X-rays of Kobe's hands, which he injured many times over his career, but it harks back to this t-shirt wherein he's also wearing his 5 championship rings. Really cool colorway, really cool idea, really cool design. These are supposed to be coming out on the 31st of October, and they're priced at $190. And then on October the 26th, you have the women's exclusive Air Jordan 4 Orchid. And that is it for October. See what I mean? Some of the best sneakers that are set to drop are the ones that might not even drop. For me, The big standouts are going to be obviously the Wu-Tang Dunks, the Ma Maniere Air Max 95s if they drop. Those are two of the must-haves. And then I really wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of the Nigo Air Force 3 colorways, if not both. Apart from that, I'm pretty good on most of the stuff that is coming out this month. What about you? Have you guys got your eyes on anything dropping? Feel free to let me know down below. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I've got the Travis 1 lows coming in any day now, hopefully, as long as the final boss delivery guy doesn't swipe me. So I'll be looking forward to bringing you my review on the Travis 1 low medium olives. Until then, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.